Hello everybody, this is Dana with the Freedom Please channel and essenceofme.com. This is an update for my crafting goals for 2014. If you are interested in hearing more about what I plan for not only my channel but also my blog, my crafting blog, stick around after the introduction and I'll be right back with you. Okay, that was another one of those rush through the introduction. Okay, what is going on my channel? I'm updating 2 videos back to back. I just recorded another dream chasing video and I wanted to do this video. If you don't watch the dream chasing videos, here's what I'm working on now. This is with the yarn that I received as part of my, it was a swap from Ravelry. I'm a part of 2 groups that do swaps on Ravelry, so that's what that's from. I received this from someone in the UK, and so I showed everything else that I got in my box in my haul video, and I believe it was my last Yarncrafters video. I think that's when I showed it. I'll try to remember to put it in the description box if I remember. Okay, so for 2014, this year I worked on a lot of stuff, but I think I was a lot busier with busy pieces than I wanted to be. And I wanted to talk about this a while ago, but I just never found the time to talk about it. In that sometimes, because I love watching other crafters and other YouTube videos, even sometimes while I'm crafting, I like to watch them. Like I store them and queue them up in my watch layer, and I just watch them all while I'm crafting. I found that I would do different projects just to try them because they looked pretty cool when I would see people's videos, even though there wasn't any particular reason why I was making it. Like I didn't have someone I was giving it to, or I didn't have a need for it. You know, I'm just crafting, which is not bad. I mean, that's how you learn. But in 2014, I'm looking to maybe do something different. I'm hoping that I will do a less requested pieces, so I won't be doing a lot of, hey, will you make me this or that as much, because my time, I'm going to be working on other projects. But instead, I went through all of those mini books that I did for hauls, and I started identifying the projects in there that I really want to try. Okay, so, and I probably should have warned you all, this probably will be a little bit lengthy, and I'm just talking. So, for my crafters, you could pause it here and go get your projects or come back. Because I'm not going to show any other, like, crafting pieces, but I'm going to explain to you the process that I'm going to do. And, of course, maybe even open it up if anybody else is interested in seeing the projects that I'm going to do, and tell you about how I'm going to be maybe working with some other crafters, and not necessarily for YouTube, but just to make. So that's kind of another spiel. So back to what I did. I grabbed all of those books that I got from the hauls that you've seen over the past few months, and if you could tell the trajectory of what I was purchasing in the books, I was buying stitch dictionaries. A lot of the books were for knitting, because I'm finding that I do still crochet, but I found that I like crocheting blankets, but I like knitting the smaller pieces. And so one of the things that I realized after making those few things this past fall for myself is that I wear a lot of knitted items, and I don't mean just your general, the fabric is knitted, but a lot of my sweaters, and even the sweater that I have on today, has a very clear knitted appearance, if that makes sense. And I thought it would be really cool to eventually get to the point where when I wear a sweater like the one that I'm wearing right now, that I made the sweater. Now, I understand a few things about that thought. One, it seems extremely lofty. Two, once you start looking at all the stuff, the logistics behind it, you have yarn, because you don't want to use something, you know, you don't want to use a cheapo yarn, but you don't want to use $1 million yarn because you're still learning, and then the logistics of learning how. I mean, even just reading the patterns, like there's so much about apparel knitting that I just don't know. The fact that if any of you have been following me for any length of time, you know me in counting and staying and sticking with a pattern is so hard because I love to wing it. And knitting has made me still myself, slow down, and stick to the pattern. Am I as good as I'd like to be? No, but I'm better. And so the other part about that is time. It means that, especially if we're doing the cast off videos, that I just don't get to do updates as often. I mean, look at this. This is on size 3 needles. Oh, these, I didn't say. These are the Addy um, Turbo Lace, I think, something like that, needles. And this is taking forever. But I've been faithfully trying to do at least 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour a day. And that's all I have because I'm slow. Okay, and that's the other thing. I'm slow. Okay. So, having that in my mind that I would like to either make sweaters or make items that I really would want to wear. And I've said that a lot in the past couple months. I make hats, and I have worn hats a lot this year, more than I have in the past. But there's been other things that I make that I just make, and I end up giving them away because that's not something that I would necessarily wear. But I wanted to try making it. And so all of this is to say, I went through my books and I started just trying to get a feel for what I wanted to do. And knowing that eventually, I don't think I'm like sweater ready yet, that I want to move towards making maybe nothing elaborate. But if you looked at, I should have brought the book with me, about 2 hauls ago when I did my half price books haul, there was a great fashion book in there that had sweaters, and it even had a sweater dress. And they were not extremely complicated, at least they didn't look like they were. But those are the kind of things that I would like to try. So I went through the books. I just grabbed my tabbies, my post-it notes, and tabbed up all the patterns. Now, for a lot of the books, every single pattern in there would appeal to me. But what I was looking for was something that would be somewhat basic, not a beginner level, but maybe on the, I guess I'm more of the intermediate, almost near an advanced, but I've done advanced patterns before. And I didn't worry about that part of it. I just went through and just looked at aesthetically what I liked and what I wanted to be maybe a beginner's class for me that I'm doing for myself. And so I went through, I tabbed them up, a lot of tabs, a lot of books. And then I thought that I wanted to maybe do different types of patterns. And the reason why I wanted to do different types of patterns is because I wanted to hopefully introduce myself to new techniques so that when I eventually get to the sweater phase, that everything is not so foreign to me. The good thing about being on YouTube and watching videos on YouTube, you can find stitches and you can find things that you wouldn't have used before. But it's something different when you have a large piece and a large project that you don't want to have to go through and frog or have to take out stitches and all of that. And so I'm hoping that doing some somewhat smaller scale things will help me to build up the skills to do the larger things. So I thought about that. I also know that, as you all know, I love making shawls. That is something that I like a lot. I'm noticing that I like scarves a lot. Even though I gave them away, I need to make more. I like, of course, I want to eventually do the sweaters. I may even do some hats because I did like the hats that I made before. But a lot of the adjustments that I made to the patterns that I used were not, I guess they were not designed that way. And so that's something that I've been looking at. the other thing that I've liked is having an opportunity to do both in a project, knitting and crocheting in projects. And so, like the piece when I showed you all the piece that I sent to my sister for she did a chemo basket. That was something where I just kind of made up as I went along, and it was knitted and it was crocheted, and I liked that. So all of those things are saying that I'm really thinking ahead for 2014, and not just like, I mean, because yes, I do like a plan, but the other part about that, which I said in that whole equation, is the yarn. I mean, if you buy yarn, you know, and I am on a budget, so that means, even though I buy a lot of yarn, I'm on a budget, and that's why, if you've noticed, I've been doing quite a bit of hauls for the different types of Knit Picks yarn, and I've been using them for different things so that I can start getting a feel for it. I've been also trying out the yarns based on different price points, and also keeping my eyes when they have substantial sales. I mean, having free shipping is good, but looking at the different places when they have closeout sales, when they have um, like Black Friday and Cyber Monday were awesome. And next year I will probably do a whole lot more damage just because. Um, I also just purchased yarn from a new place, and it's on its way. And I tell you, ooh, the price was so good. And a lot of the yarn, I have gone from having some either all acrylic or acrylic blends to working with almost all wood, alpaca. I've been trying cashmere, silk. Uh, there's another one too. I can't think of it right now. And so all of these things is because in my mind, I want to go to the sweater phase. I want to go to these bigger things, and just pacing myself to do that. So with all of that said, I went through the patterns, and I identified about 10 to 12 patterns that I would like to accomplish in 2014. Now, I have been successful. Sorry, I've been successful in almost finishing almost all of my incomplete projects except for my big blankets that I just work on periodically, which is good. Um, and my goal is to probably only have one of these big projects, like that 10 to 12 are going to be big, pretty much big projects. And then maybe have only one other project that may be on the smaller scale with that. Some of them I can already tell that it's not mindless knitting, which is why I would probably always have to have two projects going on at one time. It would be stuff where I have to look at the pattern and follow the pattern because of the nature of the item. And I want to have something always going on like this, where I don't need to look at a pattern. I can carry it in my bag. I can take it on the go, and this is one of those pieces. So that's what's going to be a little bit different, which means I'm going to try my best. It's going to get to the point where I probably want to try my best to have at least one cast off video a month. And I will still do the Yarncrafters chats because I will show books, I will show patterns, I will also talk about projects that I'm working on. And then on my blog, I will do update pictures as the projects progress. A couple of them are really massive. Actually, the first one is really massive. I think it's about, it may seem like I am doing a sweater. I'm not going to tell you what it is first. When I'm going to write a post. I'm thinking this out right now. I'm going to write a post, put it on my blog, and, or no, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm going to put something on the blog and maybe show a picture or something. I don't know. I don't know how I can do that. I have to think about it. And then the yarn should be here in the next few days. And the really cool thing about this first project, which is on the list of my to-dos, because I really would like to do one a month. But this first one is going to really test me because it is massive. And the cool thing is I found someone on Rivalry. I wish I knew how to say that. And we're going to do it together. The book has many patterns. I think like 20 something patterns in the book. And we both met each other on a forum or on a thread somewhere. And then I don't know how I reached out to her. I reached out to her by message because she was getting ready to start, and we started direct messaging each other. And so we decided when we were going to start. And the hilarious thing is that in this book of all these patterns, we were just going to kind of keep in contact with each other and help each other out because it was our first time. We both picked the same pattern in the book that we want to do. And so then we were on the search for affordable yarn. Again, we wanted something that was fairly nice, that was no with a wool composition in it, a wool blend. And I found the yarn. She loved it and loved the price. And so we both went ahead and ordered the yarn. Then found out we ordered the same color yarn, which is crazy. Anyway, so we were actually both doing the exact same project. But what's going to be interesting is that we're doing the same project, but we're doing two different sizes. The particular pattern has 4 sizes, and they're not standard dress sizes. It's this author's own rendition of sizing. And I think I'm doing a size 1, and I think she's doing a size 2 or 3 or something like that. But the point is, we're going to be working together even though we're working apart. And we're even considering pacing each other so that we're going to put up when we would like to complete certain sections by a certain time. And I'm saying all of that now to say this. If anybody's interested in knowing more in advance some of the things that we're going to do or that I plan to do this year, let me know. I mean, even if it's one person or 2 people, I mean, I think it'll be cool because it's something that will be more time consuming to have people that we may just kind of message back and forth, whether it's on YouTube or by email, or even maybe if more than a handful, then maybe even on Ravelry to see how things are going. And it's going to somewhat be like doing a crochet along or a knit along, but without a substantial time frame. So, yeah, let me know. Most of the items that I plan to do are from a pattern book or a pattern. So, it's unlike anything like that I did before because the ones that I've done before, I did the pattern, right? Yeah. The crochet alongs that I've done in the past, I wrote the patterns or I created the design. And so this will be a little bit different, which is why I wouldn't want to do anything formally because I wouldn't want to have to work with, I don't know. It wouldn't be a copyright issue if everybody purchased the pattern. I don't know. You know what? I don't know. Anyway, the point is, if anybody's interested, let me know. And so that means that I will start having more pictures on the blog following the projects. I will also do updates as I go along. It will mean probably not a lot of small pieces, but big ones. And because of that, I'm planning to do a few more tutorials because people have been asking for more tutorials, and I've been telling you about the tutorials because it takes forever. But I think I'm planning to do a handful of them for the year next year to balance out the fact that I have so many crafters and I won't be doing as many cast off videos showing the crafts because I can't do a bunch of little things and do the big things. And anybody that you do this, you know how it is. Like, it's easy for us to buy yarn and show yarns and books, right? But actually making the pieces, the number of hours that it takes, and also because of the amount of money that I'm spending on yarn to do them, on top of the fact that I've already bought the books, I really want to make sure that I do the best that I can and that I'm learning the skills that I'd like to learn to take to the sweater phase, which I'm hoping the sweater phase happens in 2015. So with all of that said, that is it. Um, 2014, as far as Essence of Me, is going to be primarily trying to up my game in my crafting and do something a little bit more challenging for myself. There are some of my past works where I've been asked to do patterns. So I would like to maybe have an official pattern released, at least a couple of them by the end of the year. And I would like to have a handful of tutorials done by the end of next year. And I think all of those things, coupled with what I have to do for my family and life and all that, is going to be very, very ambitious. So it may be that I'm just like cranking them out in the beginning and then take a break and then crank and then take a break. But I think it'll work. I think that's it. So any comments, questions, concerns, put them in the comment box below. Thank you again to all of my subscribers. I think I'm close to 1,200 or almost there. I haven't checked. This new system, I'm loving it for some reason, some instances, and I'm not for others. But all in all, I welcome you all. If you have any suggestions, place them in the comment section. Also, I pretty much, as a part of this dream chasing thing, I pretty much know what I'm planning to do, because I want to do really good at allocating my time and having more things up here for you all. But if there's some things that you've asked before that I haven't done, it'll be great to remind me. I've been having a lot of people asking about doing more graphic stuff. And the graphic stuff that I've been looking at is like extremely complicated. The ones that I've been designing. So who knows? Maybe that'll be something. And lastly, if you all are interested in doing another crochet along. Yeah. Done them for the past 2 years. This will be the third one. Was it? Yes. This will be the third one. So I've got to think about something. Maybe we'll do it in February again. Yeah. What would you like to make for a crochet along? I didn't even think about that. For probably February or March. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel. Also visit me online at essenceofme.com and subscribe to my blog, because here's the deal. Because of what's happening, there's going to be more pictures and progress shots on my blog. Also, that's where I will announce, I guess what I'm doing is like announce the pattern that I'm working on and then do progress updates like throughout the month, so that you'll see pictures. And then once it's all done, I'll do the final reveal by video so that you can see it up close. And I will be announcing the first project next week sometime. No, the week after. I think I'm going to have the yarn supposed to be delivered by next Saturday or something. That's it, because my brain must be really tired. So it'll be in the next week or so that I'll announce. I'll show you the pattern that I'm working on. I'll show you the yarn, and then I'll do a post with details, and then we'll go from there. If you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, place them in the box. If you have any suggestions for the crochet along, and actually I just thought about what I think I may do, put them in the description box, but I think I may know what we can do. And lastly, if you think you may want to join us or join me for some of the projects that I'm going to do in 2014, let me know. It may be that I can just announce it a little bit earlier than I'm preparing to actually do it, so that you will have time to buy the pattern or to get the book and to buy the yarn and all of that stuff. So it will probably end up being maybe like, wow, probably would need to post. I'm doing this all in still recording. I'll probably have to post the first project that I'm going to do, and then announce the second, the project that I'll plan to do after that, which would be technically the February-ish project, so that if anybody wanted to join it in February, they could have time through the month of January to accumulate their supplies, find the book, because a lot of them are from books. I think maybe one or two are available in Rivalry. I don't remember about the other ones because I still need to pull everything out. I just have them tabbed right now. But the cool thing is that most of them are from one or two books. So once you get those books, that would be pretty much everything over the course of the year, give or take a few individual patterns from Rivalry, I think. So you really probably would only need to buy maybe two books if you wanted to do maybe three, if you want to do all the patterns that I'm going to do. Okay, I'm rambling. That's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will talk with you all hopefully sooner than later. Have a happy new year if I don't see you all again, because I probably will not do another Yarncrafters chat update uh, until I get in the supplies, and I don't expect that before the new year. So have a happy new year, and Lord's will, I will see you all hopefully sooner than later. Take care and goodbye.